Hi, my name is Chanel. Um, I would describe myself as witty, multifaceted, and I would say I can be smart sometimes.
Yeah, fashionable.
I could fashionable. We'll take that. We'll do that. Smart, witty, and fashionable.
Good answer.
And what do I like to do for fun? Get dressed.
Oh.
Turn and carry, and eat on occasion.
Oh, you took my answer. I was gonna say that.
Food is
I love to
good.
do for
Food
fun.
is good.
Food is good.
Yes, I'm such a foodie. I'm Jazzy Alejandro. Hi. How would I describe myself? I would describe myself as grateful, spontaneous, and family orientated, with my chosen family and my given family. You know what I mean? And when I play house. And what else I would say? What do I like to do for fun? I like to eat. I like the Marvel Universe, MCU all day, and I like spending time with my dogs. I have dogs. I have Mimpins. My dogs are my heart. Dogs love better than people. Yeah, and that's about it for Jazz. So, what's your name?
So my name is Robbie. What I like to do for fun, I like to learn. I like to experience life. I like to be present and connected. How would I describe myself? An experience that does not need description, and it's non-refundable, by the way. So,
Okay, non-refundable.
that's it.
Like every sex episode, huh?
All right.
No, but I felt like my story. I felt like what needed to be told was about PrEP and PEP. A lot of people don't understand like what the difference is, or sometimes they get confused. But PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis. Is like the morning. No, it's like birth control, and PEP is post-exposure prophylaxis, which is like
Plan B.
Plan B.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. For
Gotcha.
HIV though, like if you've been exposed to it, you take PEP, and if you know you're trying to prevent yourself from contracting HIV, you'll take PrEP, and it's like the new wave when it comes to prevention, because you know we have people on antivirals, but we have people staying negative, and we're trying to have this end the epidemic become a reality, and I believe it can, but it all requires medication. So I felt like my medication component was very important to talk about in my story. How about y'all?
I agree. That's a great thing to share. I think a lot of people need to know about it.
How about your story? What was important?
For me,
Triumph Park.
no. My important part, I think, was that the ability to give and to rescind consent. Right. I used to think that if I started it down a road, I couldn't stop it. Right. So if I'm flirting with a guy at a club, and I may not necessarily want to go all the way, but you know, past traumas and past miseducations has taught me that I couldn't say, you know what, I changed my mind. Or you know what, this doesn't feel comfortable anymore. But now I know that
Because you're
I
so
can.
used to
I'm so used to
the way
not
of
having a
being-
choice in the matter, right? You know, by the way that I was exposed to sex and the way that I was exposed to men finding interest in the way that I looked was through non-consensual behavior.
Yeah.
So now that I have the right to consent or rescind my consent, I practice it as much as possible.
As we get wiser, you know, we realize that we have to unlearn certain behaviors to relearn other behaviors, you know?
Well, I think with coming, with age and learning and unlearning comes the language to use in being able to have conversations with yourself and other people about
Can you speak the language?
what do you talk in the language of cunt? You know, like,
I do not.
because I mean I think the common theme between the three of our stories is that when you know better, you do better, and like the doing better requires practice, but in that practice, speaking your truth and like the open and honest conversations that you should have with yourself and others, whether it be consent, PrEP and PEP, getting tested regularly, things like that.
Or even like when it comes to like being honest with yourself, even like being honest with the things that you're doing and the consequences that you're going to be facing. Because I know for me personally, I can easily manipulate myself or convince myself to do otherwise, you know. But it's hard to like stick on the discipline, even though it's very important.
I feel like one way you can frame it is consequences, but I think a little bit of more of sexual accountability, right? Like if I'm an adult male and I'm having sex, either consent, I'm having sex in a one-on-one situation with a partner, if I'm having an open relationship, if I'm going out and having one-night stands, being
barebacking in a big group.
If you are barebacking in a big group, you have to be accountable of that behavior, right? Like knowing to go check in with your doctor, knowing to get a regular checkup, knowing to communicate to your doctor, this feels funny, something's going on, or let's just do a standard full
checkup,
and,
check in,
and being able to do that
without judgment, without fear,
takes the stigma out of.
It's not punitive to take care of yourself,
and it's not like it's a part. It should be a part of your natural self-care kind of routine.
That's why I say sex comes with responsibility. It's like you have to have this whole kit when you're having sex, and it comes with where you're going to get tested at, what you're going to use to protect yourself, or how you're going to protect yourself, because how you protect yourself is up to you. But I just think that when it comes to what was I going to say? I almost forgot my thought. No, I remember it. When it comes to actually, no, I forgot my thought. I'm sorry.
Just look at me.
I know, right? I was gonna say something. I just had a point to make. I was like, I can keep talking. I feel like I'm spot down.
I mean, like you.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say now. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The non-consequential thinking. Like, oftentimes we go out and we behave and we do different things, and it's so habitual that we oftentimes we have a non-consequential thinking. We don't think there are gonna be consequences to some things that we do until we gag. And when we gag, it's just like, either we're burning when you pee, or when, so-and-so went through your phone and you like shaking, like, oh shit, what you feel? But whatever the case may be, it's just that we don't oftentimes think there are going to be consequences. And it's very important to know that there are consequences to every sexual experience that you have. Right?
Do you think, can I ask you a question? Do you think that being so, like, yes, of course, being honest and things like that, like, is very important, not just with yourselves and with others, but do you think that taking those, like, preventative measures, having a kit, like you say, well, as you call it, like, helps figuratively,
I think it does help.
Take some of the, I guess, sting out of whatever potential consequences may come. Like, okay, well, I'm somewhat prepared for this because I had gotten tested, beforehand, and
you've been through the experience before. You're
right,
seasoned.
And
you're
so
a little more
it's
seasoned.
So it's like,
you
okay,
caught
now
chlamydia
I
like
know
3 or 4
what
times.
to do.
I did. I've caught chlamydia like 4 times before, and I was like, damn, again? Did I just admit that? I don't care. It is what it is.
Hey, but
when you've gone through those experiences,
those learned experiences have been the ones where you're like, okay, well, I don't want to do this again. So,
because you live and you learn, and when you live and you learn and you go through shit, you realize, and your life is shaped to be, what kind of girl do I want to be? What kind of girl don't I want to be? Do I even want to be a girl? No, but I'm just saying, like, kidding, but it does help you shape to see what kind of lover do I want to be. Do I want to be promiscuous, or do I want to be a little bit more tailored? Do I want to be, out there just like having anonymous sex and not really having connections with people? Or do I want to be having a boyfriend? And you shape the life that you end up having with experience and wisdom. And hopefully you learn from your lessons, because some people just keep going around that same lesson over and over again, and they're not getting what they were supposed to get, but I try not to be like that.
What for you was...
Wait, for me?
For you.
For me.
Oh, hi, Robbie.
Hi.
This is your question.
Hi, Robbie.
Yeah.
What for you, because I think that's a nice point into what for you was the, like, consent for me is, like, not just important for other people, but, like, really for my health and well-being. What was that aha moment?
I think the aha moment is when my solution became, I didn't know what the problem was, but my solution became isolation from connected sex, right? So I would either wouldn't sleep with people, or I would be so, like, not present when I would sleep with them. I would have to be completely, like, under the influence of something emotionally, spiritually or something to go through with something that I knew in my heart and in my body was not right.
What's wrong with that? With like
There's nothing.
sex?
It may not be wrong. It's not about judgment of others. It's about myself.
Okay,
what was
work.
wrong for me
Work.
is that I don't like to sleep with people that I don't have a connection with. And that's not a judgment on the act of doing it. You know, being sex positive. There's other things besides being either sex positive or sex negative, right? It's like there's so much in between.
There's a spectrum.
I used to try to keep up with the Joneses, and they're like, all my girls, let's just be wild and let's go to the sex party. That's not really where I'm at in my life right now. And when I did do it, when I was doing it from a broken place. Now when I go to these events or when I go to interactions that are consensual, I can do it from a whole place of being, aware of my sexual health, being aware of my mental health and my emotional wellness, and I can come as a 35-year-old man and say, you know what, I want to sleep with all three of you, or I don't.
Right.
And
you're more empowered.
I'm more educated, I'm more empowered, I'm more emotionally aware, I'm more present,
and very
and
aware,
I'm more in control of the person that I'm becoming, right? Like, because every time I feel like I interact with people in a sexual way, you give a little bit of yourself. And I believe that kind of energy exchanges, that's a whole nother topic. But, I'm very mindful of who I exchange that kind of energy with.
Yeah, some people are very deep when it comes to sex. They're very, you know what I mean? It does, you are sacrificing. Some other people are just like very, they're not deep. They're very, what's the opposite of deep? Shallow?
Shallow.
Yeah, I guess shallow when it comes to sex. Because, some people, it's not even about like holding a man's hand. It's a sexual act and they get the rocks off and then they just keep moving. Because there's so many other things in their life that they're really like focusing on. I've been that person before. I've been that person where it's like, I'm not interested in the connection with you. I'm interested in busting my nut and keeping it moving, you know what I mean? And but I do get what you're saying, and I do get see the growth in what you're saying as far as like acting out versus actually enjoying sex in its full capacity.
And there's I think there's charm to like people who can I love people who can just go and have sex and do all the things, and then that's a beautiful, that kind of like simplicity, right? But like my history when it comes to sex does not allow that. We all have a sexual past, right? My entry into sex will never allow sex to be just casual.
I know for me, escorting fucked me up when it came to sex for a while. Like when I was escorting as a young adult, and was always like just like not. It was about the money. It was about what I need to get done. The intimacy of sex got stripped of, and I had to find that all over again in my sexual life. And I'm glad to say I have,